Michigan voters will have a number of ballot proposals to wade through when they vote November 6th. There are 5 constitutional amendments and a referendum to decide. Do you understand the details and impacts of each? We dissect the proposals on West Michigan Week. And thank you for joining us on West Michigan Week. On the panel, Doug Copeman, political science professor at Calvin College. How are you doing, sir?
Good, Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And Jim Harger, MLive Media Group.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Ann Sheaver. You're not driving in from the Midland area, from the Mackinac Center for Public Policy, but you do stay in the Grand Rapids area. You travel the state quite a bit, and you are covering all of these proposals.
An at-large person, yes.
Congratulations tackling all of this.
Well, we have taken a position on 5 of the 6, the first 5.
What advice overall do you give to voters? This ballot is going to be long, so if you're heading out to vote on the 6th, be ready. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to take some time to weed
through.
And
there's a reason why there are all these proposals. To get the petitions to get these on the ballot is based on the previous election. Last year was a very low turnout election, so they did not require as many signatures to get these things on the ballot. Plus, it's a presidential election, so they imagine a lot of people will be out, and maybe they might be able to have some support.
Well, let's get started. We've got some graphics prepared here, and let's start with Proposal 1. This is a referendum on Public Act 4 of 2011. It's the Emergency Manager Law. Public Act 4 of 2011 would establish criteria to assess the financial condition of local government units, including school districts, authorize governor to appoint an emergency manager upon state finding of a financial emergency, and allow the emergency manager to act in place of local government officials, requires an emergency manager to develop financial and operating plans which may include modification or termination of contracts, reorganization of government, and determination of expenditures, services, and use of assets until the emergency is resolved, and finally, alternatively, authorize state-appointed review teams to enter into a local government-approved consent decree. And I have to just be transparent here. The reason why we've given it in long form is because this is the language that will be on the ballot. So let's begin to break this down. This is the emergency manager law. What do we need to know about this?
Well, we need to know, first of all, this is to uphold the law, not to repeal emergency managers. So if you support this, you will want to vote yes. This is to uphold PA 4, which was passed last year, which gave emergency managers the authority to hold aside or put aside union contracts to balance the budget of the city. Michigan has always had emergency managers, but there's never been an effort to get this issue on the ballot until that had happened. Now, right now, because it is on the ballot, we have reverted back to PA 72, and it will be determined next month as to whether PA 4 will come back. But the legislature already has some backup plans for this if this does not hold up.
So let me just get the politics of this correct. We've had emergency manager laws for a fairly long time, and they've been relatively weak, and that's been the problem. Then Governor Snyder went in, and the Republican legislature passed this tougher law, which is sort of in abeyance right now. Well, is that the way it goes?
We had cities that would go through this process several times, Pontiac, Ecorse, and it wasn't until PA 4 was passed, and I know this just specifically for the city of Ecorse. She was, the emergency manager there was not getting any way with the police and the fire union especially. And it went through binding arbitration, and they just could not get them to back down. She did not have to set aside the contract, but when PA 4 came in, they knew she had that authority, so they were willing to negotiate.
So PA is a better lever, really, for these emergency managers to make things happen as they best determine in the interest of the jurisdiction that they're in charge of.
Right, and the emergency manager law, you know, people realize they call it stand up for democracy, but cities are not sovereigns. They get their power from the state. So the state has a general interest in protecting itself. And this process has gone through, you know, it takes a number of triggers to have this done. Then there's a review team that's sent in, and then the governor has to sign it. And so it takes many, many months for this to happen. But the hope was to, or is, to avoid going through bankruptcy. And this is the one key thing that a lot of people don't realize. Emergency managers, pensions are safer under PA 4 than they are going through bankruptcy. A bankruptcy judge can get rid of promised pensions to government workers. but emergency managers do not have that power.
Well, let's move ahead then to proposal 2. And again, we're going to use the ballot language here. It's a proposal to amend the state constitution regarding collective bargaining. This proposal would grant public and private employees the constitutional right to organize and bargain collectively through labor unions, invalidate existing or future state or local laws that limit the ability to join unions and bargain collectively, and to negotiate and enforce collective bargaining agreements, including employees' financial support of their labor unions. Laws may be enacted to prohibit public employees from striking. It also overrides state laws that regulate hours and conditions of employment to the extent that those laws conflict with collective bargaining agreements. And finally, it defines employer as a person or entity employing one or more employees. I hope these get shorter as we go along.
Well, I sat through some of the debate on before the Board of Canvassers, and it's like watching paint dry. They are actually arguing over is and a and the. So.
Wouldn't it be better just to say, instead of should this proposal be approved, do you like what happened in Wisconsin and Ohio or not?
Well, this is very reactionary,
right?
Correct?
Well, it is a reaction to some of the reforms that have taken place, especially under the latest governor, Governor Snyder. And what this could do, potentially, is undo all of that reform. It would make labor unions, and this affects basically government unions, not private. Private sector unions are governed by federal law. The only authority that states can have is to declare the state right to work. And some other minor things. But Mackinac Center has done an analysis on this, and we have private sector unions who represent fewer than 15% of private sector employees, but in the government sector they represent about 55%. So we had calculated that this is a proposal that will protect the power of about 3% of the people when you add up all those government employees. So
because that's truly what this is about.
It is.
This is a case for public employees. So there's nothing really, there's not a gray area here. However, some people might think this is UAW, this is some of the other.
Well, they called it Protect Our Jobs, and now it's called Protect Working Families, but this is for a very few working families. So they'll be able to, if this thing passes, the labor unions, the government unions, will be able to undo a lot of reform, like tenure reform, and the reform where the public schools now no longer have to collect union dues. It's up to the unions to get that money.
Yeah, to unwind all this stuff legally.
Oh, it's going to end up in court, a lot of this stuff. Because now, if this is in the Constitution, they will be able to question every change in a union contract.
I want to switch directions here. This is my question to you, Doug, because you're the political expert here. What's the history of the Michigan Constitution? I mean, it's there to preserve and protect.
Yeah, it's they had a constitutional convention or rewrite in the early 1960s, and it's been more than 50 years. It is required that I think it's 8 years on the ballot is the question, should there be a new constitutional convention to rewrite it? We had that on the ballot, I believe it was the last time through. And the public votes it down. No, they want to keep the Constitution as a fear of a runaway convention. On the other hand, it's relatively easy in the state of Michigan, and particularly as Ann mentioned, after a low turnout election, as 2 years ago, to propose amendments. It's a pretty simple, low signature requirement. And the question is, beyond the goodness or badness of each issue, does it make sense to clutter up your Constitution with these sorts of things? And that's it's a sort of a two-threshold question on each of these. Good idea, yes, no. But then, even if it's a good idea, is it good to sort of clutter up the Constitution with this issue for all time or for a long period of time?
Moving ahead to Proposal 3. Are we ready? We'll read along. A proposal to amend the state constitution to establish a standard for renewable energy. This proposal would require electric utilities to provide at least 25% of their annual retail sales of electricity from renewable energy sources, which are wind, solar, biomass, and hydropower by the year 2025. Limit to not more than 1% per year electric utility rate increases charged to consumers, only to achieve compliance with the renewable energy standard. Allow annual extensions of the deadline to meet the 25% standard in order to prevent rate increases over the 1% limit. And finally, require the legislature to enact additional laws to encourage the use of Michigan-made equipment and employment of Michigan residents. Okay, so here we go.
Well, these kinds of mandates are backfiring in states already. I think there's like 29 states that have similar things. We already have one here in Michigan. This is to increase it. Mackinac Center actually commissioned a study with the Beacon Institute, and we used a computer model, and we determined that by 2025, electric rates will be 16.2% higher than they would without this mandate. Plus, we think it's going to cost 10,540 jobs because there are uncalculated costs along with this. Sure, it's going to take workers to put up all these wind turbines and so forth, but there are some hidden costs that we don't realize. You know, first of all, acquiring the land, which is one issue because it requires a lot of space, but you also have to build the infrastructure from some of these rural areas. And also there's a lot of subsidization at taxpayer expense to get this industry off the ground. And we are already paying billions for that at the federal level.
What about, go ahead, Jim.
Jim, I know this is your baby.
Jim is
but if my friends in the environmental movement are saying this is where we need to go, and maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. What do you say to somebody who says, I think this is great because this is where we need to be headed, and using this tool to get it in the Constitution is a good thing. They might not like the other things, but the environmentalists like this one. And you know, we keep seeing efforts to take your baby and protect it. How do you deal with something like that?
Well, my organization is not against alternative energy. We just don't want taxpayers to have to pay to get it going. You know, take Minnesota, for example. They passed a 25 by 25 mandate through the legislature back in 2007. So what ended up happening is we had the biggest economic downturn in 2008. And so people were not buying as much electricity. But in Minnesota, because it's quite rural, they have electric co-ops, rural co-ops. And so to meet their mandate, they had to lock into these long-term contracts to buy this alternative energy. So they had these costs in front of them, and then they were losing customers because of the economic downturn. Plus, we had huge advances in technology to extract natural gas from the ground. It has sent natural gas prices plummeting. In fact, we have so much natural gas right now, we don't have places to store it. So the energy market is very fluid, it's very volatile, prices change, and what they've calculated now that some of these rural co-ops are losing millions of dollars. If you compare what they would pay for natural gas and other sources of energy compared to what they have to provide from alternative sources.
We'll take a quick break and we'll shuffle the papers a little bit more, and when we come back, we'll tackle Proposal 4 in just 1 minute. And we're back with more West Michigan Week. We're tackling the ballot proposals, and we're now up to number 4, so we're halfway home. Let's take a look at Proposal 4 here. It's a proposal to amend the state constitution to establish the Michigan Quality Home Care Council and provide collective bargaining for in-home care workers. This is how it will read on the ballot when you walk into the booth on the 6th. It allows in-home care workers to bargain collectively with the Michigan Quality Home Care Council, continue the current exclusive representative of in-home care workers until modified in accordance with labor laws. Gets very wordy here. Require MQHCC to provide training for in-home care workers, create a registry of workers who pass background checks and provide financial services to patients to manage the cost of in-home care. Preserve patients' rights to hire in-home care workers who are not referred from the MQHCC registry, who are bargaining unit members, and finally authorize the MQHCC to set minimum compensation standards and terms and conditions of employment.
The Mackinac Center has taken a very active role in this issue, and I'd like to tell you a little bit how it evolved.
I want to break all that down first.
Well,
go
actually,
ahead.
all of this we feel is a ruse. What it really is basically the words are in the top of this proposal: provide collective bargaining. And what happened 6 years ago is, through a very shady scheme, we feel, what we're talking about mostly are family caregivers. There are about 60,000 of them, and they get a subsidy from Medicaid to provide care, in-home care, to mostly developmentally disabled adults. And what happened in 2007 was they created an interlocal agreement, which basically served as a dummy employer for the opportunity to go in and unionize these family members. It was the SEIU that did that. They collect about $6 million a year now in these dues. A lot of people didn't even realize they were unionized. It was not a publicized election. They're all at home. They were mailed ballots, but we know a lot of them came back. A lot of people didn't realize what they were. They thought it was junk mail. So out of 50,000 families, they got 6,000 ballots back. And so what happened this year is finally the legislature said that these people have illegally been declared public employees. The governor signed it, the attorney general agreed, and now the matter is being held up in court, and this is the backup plan in case they lose in court. Mackinac Center is also involved in some legal action involving this. The agency that declared these employees, these family caregivers employees, is the Michigan Employment Relations Commission, and so we are asking them again to reconsider this. The union dues collecting is still taking place because this contract is still in effect. So, but there's, these families are losing thousands of dollars.
Is the argument from the other side, you need to know who's in your home, you should know who's taking care of your family? I know you mentioned that some of these are family members, but
well,
there are those...
70% of them are family members. How many background checks do you need to do on your own family? And you don't need to put this in the Constitution.
Not all family members.
Well, but you don't need to put this in the Constitution to get that done. If there was a need for it, the state could do it without doing this. But no one's requested it. They also have a directory. And by the way, this group that was set up put together a directory and came up with just a handful of names. So there really isn't a need for this, and there are agencies that do that, and it doesn't keep people out of nursing homes or do anything like that, really. What it is it gives them an opportunity to maintain this unionization.
But yet, when you go into the voting booth and you read this, and it all sounds and looks really good and positive, and you're going, yeah, okay, that sounds great. How do you get do you have a problem with the way it's being presented to voters, so that if they don't watch TV, they don't listen to the commercials, whatever, they're going to read this and go, this sounds pretty good, let's go with it?
Well, and that's how they're promoting it. If you watch the commercials, there's no mention of collective bargaining. I sat in some of these language debate sessions, and it's like watching paint dry, like I mentioned. They fight over everything. In this one, it was, there was debate over whether to get collective bargaining in this, and the Board of Canvassers agreed to that. And so, all of this, again, we don't need to have it in the Constitution to get these services. No one's requested them. If there is a demand for them, the state could do it, or anybody, really.
Well, we're saving one of the best for last. We all agreed before the show Proposal 5 would be one that we would really sink our teeth into. This one is a proposal to amend the state constitution to limit the enactment of new taxes by state government. You say taxes, you jump all over something like this. This proposal would require a 2/3 majority vote of the state House and the state Senate, or a statewide vote of the people at a November election, in order for the state of Michigan to impose new or additional taxes on taxpayers, or expand the base of taxation, or increasing the rate of taxation. This section shall in no way be construed to limit or modify tax limitations otherwise created in this Constitution.
Well, taxes, and it requires a supermajority, 2/3 vote in both chambers of the legislature. When state government gets into trouble, it is so easy to pass taxes instead of cut expenses. It's very difficult politically.
So you like this one?
We're supporting it for a variety of reasons. Because
may I call the pot? Is the pot calling the kettle black here?
Well, what we, you know, let's take the last one. The governor, for example, is not supporting this. And the reason is because he felt like he could never get rid of the Michigan business tax if this were in place. And what they ended up having to do, they couldn't cut expenses. They had to replace it with another tax.
Right.
So what they did was they end up taxing pensioners, people who are collecting pensions. And so now they're paying for it. Now you can debate whether it's better to have the tax break for businesses versus people who are retired. I don't think if you're retired you feel this is such a great thing. But it just makes it a little more difficult. They have to think twice now before they reflexively
But isn't this
retax
taking
it.
your pet issue and nailing it to the floor, like the unions are doing, like the other special interest groups which see this as an opportunity to institutionalize some change they want?
Well, the Mackinac Center has found 101 ways that the state government could save money. And so we are not in support of just naturally raising taxes to resolve budget problems.
It seems to me, you know, all of these initiatives at one level are a frustration with the failure of Lansing to work well. And some of them are from the left or from labor unions or those things. But this one does seem to be from the right or the conservative side, for the smaller government side.
Well, Grover Norquist
Right,
supports
but
this one.
yes, right, and those sort of people who want to some extent starve government, and that's fair enough. But another way to look at it is, what is the function of a legislature and an executive? It is difficult procedurally, at least, to get a tax through. Like, it has to go through the House, and then it has to go through the Senate, and then the governor has to sign, and then it also has to be verified as constitutional at some level, probably, in most of these areas. Isn't that hard enough? And to have a 2/3, it's to elevate just a simple tax measure really to the level of a constitutional amendment in most states and in the U.S. Governmental system. This 2/3 vote is a high barrier for new taxes, when in some sense, isn't that for the legislatures to decide and then face the voters in 2 years or 4 years and suffer the consequences?
We know that there's plenty of argument to say that doesn't really work.
Well, that's what I tell in the classroom. This is my classroom argument.
But in 4 years, are we going to see a similar proposal saying it requires a 2/3 majority to cut a state program?
Well, no, that would be extreme, but I think, you know, the voters can decide on this.
Sure.
And, you know, we don't think there's anything wrong with this process. I mean, you can make the argument that, you know, why do we have a representative form of government when we're going to bring up all these things to a ballot issue?
Right.
But we are in favor of this primarily because it makes lawmakers think twice about raising taxes. If you follow us, you know that we're not generally in favor of that.
Fair enough.
The final proposal, 6. We've never tackled the bridge issue on this show, but here we go. Proposal 6, it's a proposal to amend the state constitution regarding construction of international bridges and tunnels. I like how that's kind of plural.
Right.
This proposal would require the approval of a majority of voters at a statewide election, and in each municipality where new international bridges or tunnels for motor vehicles are to be located before the state of Michigan may expend state funds or resources for acquiring land, designing, soliciting bids for constructing, financing, or promoting new international bridges or tunnels. Create a definition of new international bridges or tunnels for motor vehicles. That means any bridge or tunnel which is not open to the public and serving traffic as of January 1st, 2012. So we know what this one's about. It's the international bridge. It's the deal with Canada.
How many signatures did they need to get this on the ballot?
Oh, it's 200
You know?
and some.
I don't recall. I don't know.
200-some thousand.
I believe so. But this is the bridge to Canada, and it is essentially the governor is selling it as not costing the state of Michigan anything in the present or in the future. And there's even a debate over the basic facts of that issue on the TV ads, and far more that we'll see until Election Day.
We're not taking a position on this.
You're not taking a
No, we're
position
not.
on this one.
But, you know, the Canadians are willing to pay for all of this. They will be able to control the tolls that go in there, so that people may not like what they're charging. You know, there's just some things to consider. I think as a voter, if I were wanting to make an educated choice on this, I'd want to know, is there the support for it? Are there enough people crossing the border where this could really benefit a lot of people.
Right. And the argument is, you're right, if Michigan doesn't put any money into it, they really don't have any jurisdiction or say over how it gets operated, and the Canadian government does do the tolls and collect the tolls and will work on the maintenance. And so there's a lot of authority that you do still give over to Canada, even if you think the bridge is a good idea. But this is very much of a few-person issue for the current owners of a few other bridges.
Right.
But
and
yet
people,
they got 200,000 people to sign a petition saying they think this ought to be on the ballot. Do you think those 200,000 people all really understood what they were signing?
Well, and the other thing, to me, transportation builds so many structures, right? I mean, this is a physical structure that we're talking about. Is it the deal with Canada that has, I mean, we've got the owner of the bridge involved in this, and in the last minute, what's the confusion on this one in 15 seconds, if you can wrap it up, Ann?
well, you know, the Canadians are willing to pay for it, I think, with very good reason for themselves, and we may not quite understand what that is. I know that when private companies propose to do these kinds of things, everyone freaks out because they think, you know, tolls are going to be $15 for going 5 minutes. But, you know, it can happen on the other side when government is controlling it, and maybe another country's government.
All right, well, we'll all be voting in about a month. Doug Copeman, Professor of Political Science, Calvin College, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Patrick.
Jim Harger, MLive Media Group, and Ann Schieber, Mackinac Center.
Can I make a quick pitch?
Go ahead.
We put together a website on all these ballot proposals with all our analysis. It's miballot2012.com.
All right, go check it out.
MLive will have a series on each one of these
There we
ballots as
go.
well, so go to mlive.com.
And WGVU.org. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next week on West Michigan Week.